In 2020, a Netflix series called Into the Night was released, and a similar series came out in 2022 called Yakima's S245. In these, our sun takes on a dangerous form. During its 11-year active cycle, the sun becomes dangerously active, and because of this, a massive sunstorm known as a sunstorm is released during the daytime, which wreaks havoc on Earth. During the daytime, that is, in the sunlight, dangerous radiation rains down on Earth, causing people to start dying. Of course, both of these series are worth watching, but the question here is whether a solar storm can really destroy the Earth. Is it possible? Has anything like this ever happened in Earth's history? Or could it happen in the future? We'll find out in today's video with the first ray of the sun of the Earth. Radiation starts coming into the daytime part, and actually, it's because of this radiation that life continues on Earth. It is maintained, plants are able to make their food, the oceans get their energy from this, and for us humans too, the sun's energy is life-giving. This energy reaches the Earth in the form of radiation. That means the sun's radiation is necessary for us, but only in a certain amount. And this amount is controlled by the Earth's atmosphere. The Earth's atmosphere filters the radiation coming from the sun and only allows as much radiation to reach the surface as we and the Earth need. But what if this radiation goes out of our control? A mass of charged solar material? What if, all of a sudden, it starts moving towards our Earth at thousands of miles per second? What would happen? If our Earth is directly hit by a solar flare, will this planet be able to save us? The answer is a bit complicated, but all scientists completely agree that Earth's magnetic field and atmosphere protect us from even the most powerful solar outbursts coming from the sun. However, even then, these solar storms can destroy our radars, radio systems, and even the satellites orbiting in space. But it can't even touch us after reaching the Earth's surface, and that's only because of our atmosphere. Believe me, we live on the luckiest planet in this universe, at the Goddard Space Flight Center, Heliophysics Science Division. So, it has never happened that our Earth's atmosphere has been damaged and Earth has become unsafe to live on. Although people were very scared about the solar flare from the sun in 2012, nothing happened at that time either. However, it's not like solar flares have caused destruction on Earth. Believe me, Earth's magnetic field protects us from the destruction caused by solar radiation. But the electromagnetic power of these cosmic events is so strong that internet connections and other communication devices can be destroyed. This can cause chaos everywhere, and even because of these reasons, people can lose their lives. NASA's space weather expert, and believe me, we see this as a serious threat. Solar flares are formed when the sun's magnetic field lines interact with each other. They get twisted, and this causes an enormous storm to erupt from the surface of the sun, which is released in the form of electromagnetic energy. Believe me, we can see these storms as cool and dark regions on the sun, which we also call sunspots. They remain tangled with each other, sometimes they get twisted, and sometimes they collide with each other, which causes a powerful flash of energy, and along with it, a lot of material, that is, charged particles, are also released from the sun. We call these solar flares. Most of their energy is released as ultraviolet and X-ray light, which also heats the gases in the sun's atmosphere. These gases heat up a great deal. Because of this, the gases present in the sun's atmosphere also become very active, and that's why a large amount of charged particles are released from the sun's atmosphere into space. These are what we call coronal mass ejections, or CMEs. If this sunspot blasts a CME towards our Earth, then it can cause a massive storm on our planet. Now, whether you've seen it before or not, CMEs can reach our Earth in as little as 15 hours or sometimes in a few days. Now, whether you have heard about it or not, it doesn't matter because the sun emits these CMEs somewhere every week or even every day. That means it's a normal process for the sun. However, during the 11-year activity cycle, the sun becomes more active. With the increase in activity, the number of CMEs also increases. According to NASA, most of the CMEs pass by this planet without being noticed by people. Because the magnetic field of our Earth protects us, but very large and energetic CMEs actually compress the magnetic field of our planet. And on the luckiest planet, we get to witness geomagnetic storms. What happens because of this is that the electromagnetic energy coming from the sun fills our magnetosphere. Believe it or not, it fills our Earth's magnetosphere, and the atoms and molecules present in our Earth's atmosphere become electrically charged, which causes something in the atmosphere that we can see all over the world. Because of such storms, the auroras borealis, which are usually seen near the Earth's North Pole, will start appearing even at the equator on the luckiest planet. Believe it or not, they will even be visible at the equator. If something like this happens, there could be a complete blackout. Electrical grids will get overloaded due to power surges, which can cause blackouts in power grids as well. Even if that doesn't happen, long power cuts will become a common thing. Some experts are even afraid that a big CME storm could affect the internet on Earth. Believe it or not, the internet cables laid under the sea could also get overloaded. And if that happens, it can't be ruled out as a possibility. And if that happens, the entire world could lose internet access for weeks or even months. Our space stations and satellites won't be able to withstand the radiation from CMEs because they don't have Earth's atmosphere to protect them. Believe it or not, in 1869, the sun produced an event known as the Carrington event. Believe it or not, the most powerful geomagnetic storm had no significant effect on life thriving on Earth, humanity, or human health. This most powerful geomagnetic storm did not have any major impact on life flourishing on Earth, humanity, or human health. But if an even bigger storm than this ever occurs in Earth's history, life on the happiest and luckiest planet in the universe would continue just like this. One thing is clear, a solar storm would be needed. We don't know how big a solar flare would need to be to wipe out life on Earth, but this has never happened in history. And again, it's also possible that a solar flare from Earth could wipe out life from the planet in the blink of an eye. And it has actually happened once in history, and that danger comes from the stars around us. When a star uses up all its fuel and reaches the end of its life, it explodes as a massive supernova. This releases an enormous amount of powerful radiation that spreads across space for millions of light years. These blasts are much more powerful than any solar flare. The ultraviolet radiation released from these will destroy the ozone layer of Earth. And as soon as this protective ozone layer is gone, the Earth will be filled with charged particles and radiation, making it almost impossible for any life to survive on Earth. In a recent study, researchers claimed that during the late Devonian period of the Earth, around 416 million to 358 million years ago, about 64 light years away from Earth, a star died millions of years ago. That star exploded in a supernova, which caused a mass extinction here on Earth, wiping out nearly 70% of the invertebrates living on the planet. However, scientists are not certain about how exactly this mass extinction was triggered. What were the factors that started this mass extinction? However, studies of the skeletons from the time of that mass extinction have revealed that their fossils were found to be damaged due to ultraviolet radiation, which could only happen because of an exploding star or a supernova. But fortunately, there is no such supernova candidate present near Earth that could pose a threat to us in the near future. We only have our small star, the Sun, which for now cannot become a supernova. As for the solar storms coming from the Sun, our Earth's atmosphere is enough to protect us from them. Or like Netflix series such as Yakamos, S245 or Into the Night. Hopefully we never have to see such days. We haven't even felt it. The one who witnesses it firsthand. This is also a ticking time bomb which can explode at any moment with its unimaginable force. So, in this video, today we will explore the dark side of our sun, which is unpredictable, violent, and extremely mysterious. After this, your perspective on the sun will change. From ancient civilizations that considered the sun a deity to today's modern science, which now sees it as the engine of life. Although we know that the sun is a huge ball of gas and plasma, but if we look at it on a broad scale, life truly isn't possible without the sun. And humanity has known from the very beginning that the sun is essential for us. But that same sun is also one of the most dangerous forces in our solar system. Apart from its warmth and familiar light, it is an uncontrollable cosmic nuclear furnace that is constantly leading us toward a major event. We take the sun for granted. In this endless universe, it lights up the planets like a giant lamp. It keeps them warm and also sustains life on those planets. If we go deep into the sun, the gravity there is so intense that even hydrogen atoms collide and fuse together. Through this process of nuclear fusion, the entire sun is able to release an immense amount of heat, and in this way, the temperature of the sun's surface reaches up to 5,500 degrees Celsius, but the real terror is hidden in its core, where the temperature reaches up to 15 million degrees Celsius. 15 million degrees Celsius. This is beyond our imagination. This immense energy of the sun not only gives us light, but also creates storms on the sun. There is also a massive ejection of magnetic fields and charged particles there. Even though solar flares and solar mass ejections may not seem very dangerous to us, but they have so much power that they can destroy our modern technology in an instant. A single solar storm can push us into a global blackout. To be honest, we are literally living at the mercy of a star that can turn on us at any moment, And the scariest thing is that it neither recognizes us, nor is it compassionate. Let's take a look at a dangerous example of the sun's power, a solar storm. In 1869, a massive solar storm was released from the sun, which we now know as the Carrington event. This solar storm was so intense that the telegraph system of that time broke down. Equipment caught fire, and the operators who were working on those systems and equipment received strong electric shocks. If such a storm hits the Earth today, destruction is certain. Our modern world is highly dependent on technology. The result will be that the internet, GPS, power grids, and satellites will be fried within moments. These are the main systems where its impact will be most apparent. Apart from this, people traveling by sea and air will get stranded in the middle of their journey. There are also some devices in our body that can conduct electricity. So in such a situation, the risk to human life and property will increase significantly. A large amount of magnetic energy is released from the sun's atmosphere, and this explosion is called a solar storm. These solar storms can release highly charged particles into space in any direction, and when they come towards the Earth, they move towards the Earth at a speed of hundreds of thousands of miles per hour. When this storm hits the Earth, it interacts with its magnetic field. This is what causes us to see beautiful auroras in the sky. But behind this beauty are these terrifying solar storms, which can destroy everything in an instant. The scariest thing about this is that we can't see them coming. Solar storms erupt without any warning. In one moment, the sun is completely calm, and in the very next moment, it can release this invisible, dangerous radiation towards us. The Carrington event was a warning for us, but we've come a long way by learning from it. For decades, space agencies and scientists have been constantly monitoring the sun for such solar storms so that we can protect ourselves in time. The question isn't whether the next solar storm will hit us, but rather when. This uncertainty always keeps us afraid. The sun has another dark side, sunspots. When we look up at the sky and see the sun, we see its dazzling, blinding brightness. But it doesn't always shine like this. Sometimes dark spots appear on its surface, which are called sunspots. These are cooler regions on the surface of the sun, where the sun's magnetic fields are twisted and tangled together. We have been observing sunspots for centuries, but the reason for their formation has always remained a mystery. But what we do know is that wherever sunspots are, there is destruction. Sunspots are related to the activity of our sun, and they indicate many activities happening on the sun. Sunspots are also the root cause of many intense solar storms. These dark spots reflect some terrifying processes happening inside the sun, which we have not yet been able to understand. But why do they form, and why do these sunspots and solar flares trigger such monster events? These questions also force scientists to think. What we do know about them is that sunspot activity increases and decreases in cycles. When the sun is most active, that's when more sunspots are seen, and the more sunspots there are, the higher the chances of solar flares. In the 11-year activity cycle, we also see more solar flares and increased solar activity. Next time you see a picture of sunspots, remember that these are not just spots on a shining star. This is the dark side of the sun, which is the most dangerous. And we must also remember that we live peacefully under the shelter of a star that itself is not peaceful at all. There is no danger. The sun has another dark side, solar flares. Solar flares are the sun's own way of releasing suppressed energy. And when these flares erupt, the energy released from them is even greater than the energy of millions of atomic bombs. These flares release radiation and charged particles in every direction from the sun. And sometimes they come directly toward our Earth. When a powerful solar flare hits our Earth, the effects can bring our entire world to a halt. When a global blackout happens, GPS signals disappear, satellites malfunction, power grids fail, and everything, internet, economy, ecosystem, can come to a standstill. Just one flare hitting can suddenly bring the banking system, aviation, industry, and all other sectors that rely on the internet to a halt. This reminds us that the same sun that makes life possible on our Earth can also force our world to come to a standstill. But solar flares are not the only mystery of our sun, as we are becoming more advanced. Our understanding of the sun is increasing even more. But there is still so much about the sun that we have not been able to learn. For example, the sun's corona, its outermost layer. The mystery about the corona is that its temperature is much higher than the sun's surface temperature. How can this even be possible? The surface of the sun, which is as hot as 5,500 degrees Celsius, how can the corona, which is hundreds of kilometers away from it, have a temperature of millions of degrees Celsius? Another mystery is what force is actually driving the solar cycles. Every 11 years, the sun's magnetic poles flip, which increases solar activity. But scientists have not been able to find out the driving force behind this. What mechanism is actually triggering this process? This question is not just an interesting scientific puzzle, it's cosmic horror. It gives us a glimpse of those mysteries in this universe that are beyond human understanding. And it shows us how much we have actually understood this infinite universe and where we really stand. The sun is our closest star, but this universe is infinite, and such mysteries make this universe the supreme leader. Because in this universe, everything follows the rules made by the universe itself. And maybe it's better if some mysteries remain hidden forever. If someone ever learns every secret of the universe, then they will be the supreme leader, and they would want to run the universe according to their own will, and maybe none of us would want that. So friends, what are your thoughts about the mysteries of the sun? Do let us know in the comment section. If you like this video, please like and share it with your friends. For more such informative videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and enable the bell notification. Friends, we will meet again soon with another new informative video. Until then, stay curious, be happy, and goodbye.